The idea of this session was that when we looked at proning, James and I, especially on the back of, obviously, like everyone else, is the COVID, dreaded COVID, but predominantly proning is done in ITU. Well, it shouldn't be, because realising now that actually people coming out with severe chest infections, and not just about COVID, if someone's getting over pneumonia, and even ourselves, if you've had a flu, cough or cold, how many of you actually turn over onto your stomach because it stops you from coughing, or you try to elevate yourself because you're actually trying to open up the airways? So we've tried to introduce a bit more standard proning on the wards, and it was actually by fluke this worked for us, because we were looking at the piece of equipment for bariatrics, and we had this brainwave of thinking, because we were looking at half mats. Well, of course, what can I say? The brainwave came. We looked at the half mat and the full mat of proning someone. However, the difficulty with that was you can't get the half mat or the full mat out, and I don't like leaving patients on it because of the risk of sweat and moisture lesions and so on, even though, to be fair, most manufacturers will guarantee a good length of time that it can stay on it. However, the issues around our tissue viability, we have to work with those guys. If there's solutions that we can get it out, then that's where we want to be going. So when I saw this, was like, oh my God. And if you're anything like me, your mind's going to run away with you and be thinking of all the other things you're going to be doing with it. I don't want nothing rude, though. And remember, as I said, get voted on the apps.
Nothing rude.
Depends on how gentle you are with me.
We'll be gentle. We will be gentle, just in case.
He's lowering the bed for you.
Out and go.
Yourself all right, Dan.
Does anyone know how to rock on it then?
I can get up from there.
No, is it your hand to do? Lower it. Yes.
Leg up.
Switch it on. Yes. Good. Yeah, thank you.
Right, you might want to come and stand up a bit, because I'm going to have my back to you.
No, we're okay.
Oh.
Please don't have
I'm crossing my legs at the end there. Really nice shot. Yeah, that's okay for me.
Yeah,
right
I'm
now.
good for that. Yeah.
So the first thing we're going to do is put the mats in itself, and they're on. I've got a slide sheet on.
Under the pillow.
I'm just going to
have a little nap now.
This is the F3. Okay, just a little bit more shine if we can. Ready, so we can.
I've got a large gluteal shelf there.
How did that feel? How was that feel?
It's good for me, darling. Is that closed off for me now?
Yeah. Okay, so we're just going to put a bit of air in.
Yep.
Want a bit more in than that, shall we? Not enough.
I'm full of hot air anyway most of the time, so I've got enough on the ground.
I wasn't saying a
Yeah,
word.
just you be careful. Just be careful.
Take the second one through.
And as you can see, we're only using half the mats at the minute for a reason.
Okay. I'll look after you.
So we want. No, I am. That sounds good. You take the photographs and I'm holding a teddy. Really? Oh, sorry. Right, so now we've lifted the patient up. We need to position the patient. So we want to bring, before we do anything, because what we're aiming to do is prone our patient over onto the postural pads over there, which we'll show in a bit more detail in a minute. Because a patient laying on pillows for long periods of time will get neck sweat and lesions because they don't breathe properly. So the lovely thing about these, they actually do breathe. I forget, the company's called Levitex, isn't it? Levitex. So they're like the hugger support systems that you get for in bed situ systems, that sort of thing. So we need to bring our patient
Just
towards
need
us.
another person. I'll bring another
Do
person.
you want to- Thank you. So we're going to bring the patient to us because we want to maximise the space in our bed.
Ready, steady, slide.
And it's so easy to do. So scary.
Okay.
Okay. So
So we just push it. Yeah. Okay. And then pull.
now we're going to need to come towards us. Okay. Ready. Can't get hold of that. Ready. Steady. Slide. Again. Ready. Steady. Slide. Fantastic. Just obviously, I'm trying to get right, but we don't want to deflate this because the whole point is the air system's actually.
If you want to put your arms as you're looking for a breath,
It's actually a lot easier than it looks.
you'll be a safe.
I know.
You never dropped any of your
Yeah.
We're now going to prone the patient.
Open to the middle of the bed.
Ready, steady. So that bit now
Through.
is bringing our patient through.
No, you pull through.
So she should be sitting on my half. Let's put it through a little bit more. Deflate.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry, it's just pulled through a little bit too much.
Seems to be up here. Yeah.
Just a little bit more chance.
So you've got to think about where you're going to put your cushions to lift your patient up. So you want one cushion across the abdomen, obviously raising up. So we're going to put two half ones across the shoulders, so it brings those shoulders up. We're going to put one in through the abdomen, and the other one which is going to go. We'll leave one in place to keep the feet elevated. So when we hold the patient, you see that we actually try to keep everything in this section. So we raised her up on this bit, and then we've now pulled it through, centralised her, so she's actually on the second part of it. So you will have a go at the paint. Two or three top bits, please. So these are the cushions that we told you about, and I really, really like these because, like everything else, NHS pillars anyway, not got really much going for them. I mean, they've been on in 5 minutes, that's there's nothing left of them, is there? However, these stay. I can't physically lay on my stomach very long anyway, full stop. And some people can't. But actually, I was playing around with these and I was actually just laying on it. I'm so comfortable. So actually they do breathe and they're quite supporting them. So I really like them. So we want to pop this bit of the fold in line with the patient's shoulders. Once we do that, we're going to raise her up slightly and then we'll put her head on the support where if she's intubated or if she's on the BiPAP, you can actually put the tubing down so she's not actually pressing onto it.
Sorry.
What was that? Nothing.
Nothing. I was just taking a bra off. Apologies.
If I can get you, Vicky, just to take here.
Okay.
Just to
bring
raise
your
your arm.
arms.
So your arm would be away from you, that's it. Just gonna pop under. Ready, steady, slide. Here. And then deflate. It's quite easy to do. So if you're a bariatric patient, then you probably want to put on a slouching. But that was easy without that. But the other was stuck down the side of your start. And
We're going to take this first one out. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to push down. So is it coming to me?
Do that. I'm just going to inflate my side.
so just put it into the middle.
Okay, down to the middle. Yep. Great.
So now I'm going to put the cushion in the abdomen.
Come in under. It's fine.
Okay. You take take it
You
out
come
the
through
way.
this side, yeah? No, just pull through. I'll let you reach through, not me.
Got it?
Sorry.
Do that again. Got it?
No,
Take the slide sheet because it's pushing it back up. Now pull up. That's better.
Pull through.
You've got my hand. That's it. We don't normally do it like that.
No.
Can we? No, because it's not. They need to be on. We need to inflate because this is normally here,
Yeah,
and this goes in with a slide sheet.
move up a bit.
So we need to come up. That's it. Now inflate that one
Pull
again.
through to you, pull through to you. A little bit more. Pull through.
So that needs to be remained up. This one needs to be up because what it's doing is that. And then this needs to be on the slide sheet and it goes in. That's this morning. But we were just testing to see if everyone's watching. Yeah,
We're just
taking
testing,
part.
yeah?
That's the whole point of this session.
We definitely look outside for it.
I'm going to inflate this one this side as well, actually. The reason I'm going to do it is because I'm going to
Then
jump a
you've
bit
got a
more.
gap to go under. You probably did it like that this morning.
Oh, we're just seeing a, we're just
Because
trying
you had
different
like-
ways.
Different with different
That's right. Stop giggling.
Just pass them out of the way.
Huh? Okay, I'm going to put this in, steady, steady, and slide. Pull over. I can't get it in with this slide sheet because it keeps sliding around too much. Slide against slide. We didn't do that. What did we do?
I did it last time.
What, you put this in? Yeah, but we need to do it because you're.
Oh, thank you very much. In fact,
How about the slow bit being underneath? Look, I've been told to behave. How about the blow bit being underneath her more, so she's
We've
higher?
elevated her. Yeah, it is underneath her. She's
Is it?
over a bit more tall to me.
Yeah, that's better. Better.
Do you want to do the slide sheet or not?
Yeah, let's pop it. This is. Huh? Right, go in that way. We did this really well this morning.
That goes straight in.
Easy.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so you feel through that.
Yes, and you do something through. So I don't want to reach in, you know, like that.
He's trying to be good here. So he's reaching underneath and trying to grab the wrong things. So he's trying to get someone off. We have to keep a bit of decorum because we're actually being filmed.
Don't go other thing. Now you tell me I'm on camera.
Go on.
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
Right, I'm just going to take you down. I'll go a bit slower.
I'm just going to take that slide sheet out. Actually, it's probably easier to pass the slide sheet over towards you. Towards you.
Yep.
Okay. In fact, I'm just gonna... That's better. Slide sheet.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where it is.
What, leave it in this? Leave it in, because we're looking at raised hills.
Oh, you're going to do that, okay.
Because otherwise, like in a minute, she's here. Can you just take this one up? You got it?
Here we come down. Pull to you, pull to you. And then pull on, okay.
Right, the idea of you need to leave a gap, obviously, in here. So just slightly, I'm going to push this back over here, so it's in line with the shoulder, and then just a tad. Now, bearing in mind, this technique that you'll be doing is not a patient that's comatose. This patient should be moving in some shape or form. We've deliberately done it with our patient not doing anything, but hopefully they should, otherwise they shouldn't be on this hall. They should actually be back in ITU, where they're being hoisted, or what's known as the Cornish pasty technique, or you know, this is a patient who's on the ward that's struggling, probably muscles a little bit weaker, they're deconditioned, and maybe even a little bit of a pelvic tilt. But to actually get them off the bed and climb back on the bed and get on that is a nightmare. So we're looking at lots of different ways of how we can do it. And right down to, someone said this morning about heels, you know, this, where we've faffed around so much there and made it look really, really easy. She's giggled. But if can you just get some life and just move back up so and just show something about your feet?
Some life.
Yeah, just
Oh, can you not wiggle? I wanted to video you.
do the cat up there.
Not enough to keep.
Right, so, and then your hands need to be that fantastic. So as you can see here, you could have a potential problem with the heels or the backs of the feet. So by just popping this underneath and then obviously checking pressure. And then possibly releasing pressure rather than her laying flat with this against the bed or even being trapped down there. Yeah. So we've seen. It's actually quite comfortable. And I actually thought I really fell asleep laying on the thing.
Do you use pillows currently on when you're pro?
We don't get involved with probing. We are not allowed to get involved in probing, are we, Tanya? ITU will not let us get involved.
See, this is not ITU. ITU, we're working with our ITU, looking at when we do new builds or we do reassessments, we're ensuring that we get ceiling tracks put in ITU.
Yeah.
So the whole idea of that one, which we'll see in a minute,
Yeah.
is that if you've got ceiling tracks, there's a good chance, okay, yeah, you might still need 4 or 5, but we've reduced it from 8 or 9 because you've got equipment that they're trained in using. Off the ward, we've now started to introduce proning more in a standard ward because as soon as they come out of ITU, it's almost a bit like proning stops, gone.
Yeah.
But actually, it still should be there because we still, you know, you got the what do they call it, past COVID, when they've got the COVID symptoms still. So long COVID, so they've still got respiratory problems. Just because they've come off ITU, it's almost a bit like it's everything stops and then you get the deconditioning. So you know, we need to keep that moving. And it's not just about COVID, is it? It's everything so possible. So we're going to have a big play, going to get you guys up, have a play, really value your opinion, playing around it. You might go, do you know what? This is a bit easier. We don't claim to have the perfect solution. The whole point of this primary session is to go, see what everyone was doing.
Let's sort of come from here and pull down that way, otherwise you twist it.
I'm confident. I can do the
The only difference we did it was you did do like you did. We took it and moved that one down, didn't we? We brought moved them down one at a time.
That was, yeah.
So that way you did it. It's better.
Tell him, please.
That way.
Sharon did it.
Sharon, yes.
Is the valve closed?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. You ready?
It's good.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the biggest bastard.
Hello.
I'm sorry.
Move away.
Oh dear, I'm gonna not let me back next year.
Changes to the and then again, if you're just going to reach through. Yeah.
Which we didn't, that's why we put it in.
How far are we going?
Keep going, yeah, ultra bump to there.
And the nice thing about this position though, if you think about how much my airways are stretched, even just by being here at the minute.
We brought it in here, didn't we? Moved it down and gradually moved it, but that way going underneath that
And
one.
under that one, slide, yes, it quite well under that. Does slide under well under that.
Yeah,
Valve closed?
Valve's closed, yeah, go.
yeah.
Another one of them. do with this one, because you've got the natural
Through the
edge
gap.
there,
Very good done. In fact, put that on your CV. Could have, yeah, I would.
so going underneath.
South Coast,
Hang on.
Just to get the 2%. You've got
ready?
Hang on.
So now you can move Sharon towards the edge of the bed without dropping off.
No throwing me on the floor, guys.
I've got a piece of kit to pick you up, so I'll be alright.
So we would normally have
That is the scariest bit. That even though I wasn't hanging out, it was scary.
But that is the same as if you rob somebody.
And I think that's where, though, where you've got patients who should be awake and talking to you, that's where their assistant needs to start coming in rather than us physically doing it. Because it's encouraging them to try to move. Where we didn't want you to move, we wanted to show where's they can't.
You've probably got a little bit more. Touch more. Not too far, but just a little bit. So now you're just going to sort of, the nurse sort of just move, not lifting, but you're just lifting. So not quite lifting now. So
Just encouraged to roll.
yeah, encourage them to roll. So that's it. Okay. So there. So now what you can do is you can pull this one and this one, and then we'll just give them a guide into the bed and a little bit more, and Sharon's.
That's fab, isn't it? Look at her, she's gone.
So they can move that shoulder through themselves is what we're looking
You
at.
let her breathe though.
And I sort of gave a little assist onto the hip, just to twist the hip twist. Yeah. So obviously now tubing's fine.
So we deflate these.
Yeah, if you deflate that side, because effectively that side's done. So at the minute, Sharon's a bit over to this side. So
Yeah.
just ready.
Just got to come to us.
So ready, steady. Now just pull that one through. Just pull this through then. No, sorry, just pull towards you.
The whole thing.
Towards me. To you. A little bit more. There you go. Okay, so now we can put air in on this side. If you just pull through a little bit on this
Oh,
one.
yeah, yeah.
That's it. Perfect.
I was going to say. Using the back to support you. You're all right.
So Sharon, I'm just going to pop them under.
So we're just going to push those in, aren't we?
Yeah, so
Is that just
that's it. Easy enough. And then deflate.
For the patient, though, you can wobble around and get yourself into a comfortable position. Because again, you should be awake. You wouldn't be doing it on someone who's. So you don't want to be a little bit. Yeah, you do need it. So otherwise, that's why
This is where she loses the medal.
This is where she loses her underwear.
We just
Do you want these out as well? Are they staying in? They're staying
in. So
you're going into that one?
yeah, if you come under. So what I'll do, just pass that now. We'll just give it a little bit of a turn. So you've got to really push through.
Are you down?
Okay, keep pushing.
Yeah.
There we go.
Take the sides and take that.
Perfect that, Sharon. Oh, got better at this. Now if you're just
That's
going to
slide
take
sheet
it
coming
down,
out.
yeah, so just take that down to the gap.
Yep.
And then I'm just going to feed through.
Yep.
And then you can take the slide sheet through, so about at the top.
Put the whole on. Yeah.
There you go. Voila. Perfectly in the middle of the bed, on support.
Easy, mate.
18.
such a better player than me.
You can think about you doing it, you'd still be doing it with 6 people, but you've done it
It's just good use
safely.
Yeah, but once people have used it and know what they're doing, it's
Yeah.
a lot
Actually had
easier
a
quicker and
nurse this last week on Thursday asked me about they're raising patients into the prone to turn their head, but they're doing it by lifting. Because I haven't seen this before. She said, how can we do it? So that would be ideal. ideal for that, just lifting the body up so they can turn the head.
So like I say, it wasn't meant for that purpose, but it's
Yeah.
finding, it is manual time travel and stuff. It's,
It was a good book, just playing around with it and finding solutions.
No, so does it come as a package?
so I'm looking at going as a 4.
Right. It's all the same with that. Yeah, sure. And weight-wise and load, they'll take.
It's been tested to 3.5 tonne, but each pad is taking 200 kilos. It has been basically. So these guys can out to each other 64 stone.
Right, yeah.
Have we tried it with anyone? No, not yet.
There we go, we've got this gentleman's going to
He's got to get his wages somehow.
Yeah, it's just slightly underneath the best.
So the whole idea of this, just the same as the technique over there, is to reduce the amount of staff required to do this turn. So I want you to imagine, obviously, it's an anaesthetist that's supporting Sam's airway. We'll bring this bed up. Actually, would one of you mind doing that for me, please?
I'm one step ahead of you.
I was going to say, I thought you were doing that, bringing it up. I'm like, what?
Okay, so what we're going to start by doing is tucking this under sheet in first of all.
So we want to get our slideys underneath the bottom bed sheet as well, like we did last time.
Could do. Yeah, should we go for 2 or 1?
I still think we need 2 if we're going to do the reposition.
So I'm just going to lay these on top of you. So this is evolved today, this section. So small panels. I tend to go quite large with my panels and it doesn't always work out that well.
We always follow the folds.
That's which way are we going? Are we going head to foot or foot to head?
Yeah, we'll see if we both know. And we're going underneath the bed sheet. You know, Sam?
Yeah.
We're just going to dribble this down to your shoulders.
Okay, ready, you are? Ready, steady, and hold.
Just sliding in down.
Yeah. Ready, steady, and hold. Okay. Ready, steady, and hold.
You've got a natural void there. Yes. But some get to the bottom material. So I was like to
Steady, and
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
There we go. We can get rid of this now, Sam.
yeah.
That's fine. Yep.
Yeah, it's coming under.
You don't really need that one in.
No, I would. That was explaining how to put the repo sheet in. But yeah, once the repo sheet's in, it can come out. What we can also do is start tucking this bed sheet, because this bed sheet is then going to be taken away. This is Sam's original bed sheet, so we don't need that anymore. Because he's going to be proned onto a new bed sheet. Then we start placing the pillows. Now, when we first started doing this, we were laying pillows sort of square on. When we realised that actually when you prone a patient, they end up half hanging out. So we're sort of going with sort of 3/4 like that. And the same with the one on the chest. Sam, can you bring one arm across? So if your patient can do this, if they can't, if they're unconscious, you know, we would support them with that. Do you tend to go swimmer position, or do you do both arms up? Right, okay, so this arm, if I get that to come around here, Sam, you're going to sort of hold that in position, like that. Okay? And the bed sheet. Now, this is a double bed sheet, so apologies for that. We've got loads of material going on here. There we go. We're just going to unfold that too. And then what we're going to do is we're going to tuck this in, so we're going to sort of cocoon him up. We're going to hold those pillows in position. You alright, Sam?
Which side are we turning to?
Coming to me.
Let's
Coming
roll
to me.
towards James.
Okay. Thank you, Simon. What Simon's going to do is try and find his sort of shortest loops here, so we've got that height. And you know, that side of the reaper sheet is almost going to become our bedside, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. Yep.
So obviously we're imagining we've got somebody who's managing head, neck, airway and all the rest, but you take care of your own heads now.
I try not to.
Manage your own airway.
Yeah. So, starting to rise.
Okay.
Ready? Yeah. Probably to there. Okay. And then what we can do is we can draw him back towards. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Ready? Steady. Now. Slide. Okay. A little higher, please. No, that's. Oh yeah, we can do actually. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Do we need any more
Yeah,
of that?
about another 6 inches
Okay.
towards me.
Ready? Steady. Okay. You right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Tell me when to stop. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you. Start coming down now. And actually, the time it takes to unhook all those loops, what we can do is just take the whole spreader bar off. Okay, so if I can get you to your arms up, sort of like a Superman position.
Yep.
And the other one as well, if you can.
Yeah, all the way up.
Yes, please. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it. And then what we can do is just basically start unfolding, taking out the equipment, because we've got the slime sheets there, so that it's a little easier to get the equipment out. And straightening that sheet up, and then unfolding the rest of the sheet. Bring it
This
up.
arm will probably be down by your
If you struggle, just put your hand in with the side sheet there, in between, so it's protecting his skin.
Actually, I could go off on it.
Yeah.
So that pillow's not too bad. This one's, it's not quite straight, it's in midline. How does that feel, Sam?
Yeah, comfortable.
And what we can do is then just
almost
sort of
just,
tweak his
if he's on the
position.
slidey, we can just do a little bit of straighten up.
So what's your thoughts, guys?
Chris is underneath.
Yeah, and half of that is because it's a double bed sheet.
But again, if you
And we know in reality there'll probably be another pillow underneath the shins anyway to weight relieve off the toes and so on, wouldn't there? There would be a third pillow popping under there
if you want to
probably.
get rid of the creases again, pop that in between him and the creases, and then you can fiddle around underneath. Yeah, and move them. Yeah, and even just swiping it down. And the other thing is, when you're putting the slide sheets in under the repo sheets, if you tie the repo sheet to the top of the bed, he won't slide down onto the.
That's another good point. Yeah, yeah. You've got some thoughts, haven't you? I can tell. Go on, go for it.
I like what you're doing with the equipment, however, time-wise, I'd be using just slide sheets if it was me. Quicker. If I'm honest.
Do you not think the hoist is taking a lot of
Reduce the amount of people.
It's reduced the amount of people, but time-wise, which is what's being always said to everybody.
Can you imagine anyone on the airway and you're doing this beat?
And then waiting, and then
Then this
moving.
beat, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Suddenly, it's
For the
time.
For the plus size patients, maybe that would
Yeah,
help.
that would do the job.
But for your every day, I don't know what you guys think.
The second, if somehow sometimes you have to reposition the pillow under the chest, because they go either too far up or too far down.
Yeah.
In this situation now, could be a struggle. Could be. Because then you'll start dripping, do you know what I mean? Rubbing up and down. Somehow, if there's no airway compromise, you may get to the point where we need another one, and then you will get in a little higher.
And would you be no better with the wedges like you had?
I'm not trying to
Yeah,
advocate in
No,
any
that's not it, but it's looking and thinking, right, okay, so somebody might be having to do quicker than somebody else, so, and somebody might be more weighty, so honestly, Simon, you know I like the voice
And
and
I
that,
guess
I
in
think
reality,
that would
say
be
you're
great.
weighing up how long is it going to take me to get the 8 people around to do a manual turning.
Yeah.
If the patient's waited a quarter of an hour for me to get 8 people here, then actually,
I mean, the problem we
from
have
a
in
time
our
perspective,
ICU is we get,
you know,
we struggle to get this. Only
Yeah.
one of the bed spaces in our
Exactly,
ICU.
yeah.
Can we get this in?
Yeah.
manual handling wise makes sense.